Hi, I'm Oscar Dirigoyen, and today I'm going to show you a brief demonstration about how we can protect the user experience of mission critical applications over the internet using our SD-WAN solution. Very unique because we can protect sessions, individual user sessions, against very heavy congestion traffic over whatever kind of underlay, including internet, including wireless. I have this configuration, a hub network, which represents a data center or a headquarters, and a spoke network, which represents a branch office. I have an underlay of internet. I have a DSL box over here and a 3G hotspot on the right side. The idea is to transfer real-time traffic from my spoke to my hub and protect this traffic against UDP traffic, very heavy throughput, and that is going to completely saturate the underlay and overlay of my network. I'm not going to enter into the details of the configuration today, but just some main comments. So the boxes that I am using here are medium size edge boxes, the 4AX, and they get their configurations when you interconnect them to the internet using the WAN port. You don't need any pre-configuration. They contact directly the zero touch provisioning server, and then the interactions with the SD-WAN network controller, the orchestrator, and the application intelligence service are done automatically. As you can see, again, my underlay is a complete public network, and I am using 3G on the spoke network, the branch side. Let us see what are the elements that I need to configure in my portal for getting all that up and running. If I see my network configuration on my portal, I can see the hub configuration, and you need to provide the name of the site, the serial number, the role, in this case it is the hub, the LAN IP, the WAN IP, the public IP, the overlay IP, which is going to have the BGP instances, but in this case this IP is by default, and the speed of the link. I'm using 3.5 megabits per second. And I have the spoke site. In similar manner, so the name of the site, serial number. The serial number actually is used for authentication in the controller system. The role, which is the spoke, the LAN IP, the WAN IP. In this case, I'm using DHCP, and the IP finally is provided by my 3G router, my hotspot. The overlay IP, which is default, and 3.5 megabits per second for my speed. In both cases, hub and spoke, I'm using NAT. Good. Now I can see my monitoring system. So the two sites are automatically provisioned here. So in this case, the hub and the spoke with the speeds of the links 3.5 megabits per second, and the different applications. They have the internet and outer domain sites as well by default. And I can see also the flows that are traversing the network. Different flows, but today I'm going to focus on two flows. The UDP traffic, which is a traffic that is saturating the link. It can be in a real situation, a database, for instance, or many users accessing a server. And the RDP traffic, which is a real-time traffic that is my mission critical application. As you can see, there are several metrics, and especially the RDP traffic is having a bad user experience, a bad application quality score with 5/10. It has high levels of latency, about 700 milliseconds. And let's see how it is in terms of user experience. So you can see over here that this video is being played on the remote site. This is an RDP connection. This is the IP of the remote site, 192.168.2.100. And you can see here that there is about 6 megabits per second of traffic that is coming from this remote site. The user experience again is bad. We can see here that the application quality score, if you remember, is 5/10. So bad quality of experience. So, and it is because I'm not using control. You can see here this iPerf, and it is saturating the link with 5 flows of 1 megabits per second. So about 5 megabits per second are saturating the link of 3.5 megabits per second. So a lot of heavy traffic. We can see here that I have two graphs coming from the Ipanema system. So the RDP traffic with the latency, which is changing, very high levels of latency, and blue, especially on the LAN side. By the moment, I don't have too much losses because the RDP is a protocol that adapts itself to the available bandwidth, and it is sharing the bandwidth with the UDP by now. But it is being restricted in terms of throughput. It is on the levels of about 700 kilobits per second. We have 2 sessions. And what about the UDP? So the UDP is having a lot of losses because, as I said, it's 5 megabits per second. You can see here the throughput. And obviously there is a mismatch between the traffic on the line and the actual traffic traversing the WAN, which is about 2.5 megabits per second, and it is sharing the bandwidth with the RDP. This is why it is restricting the bandwidth of my RDP and reducing the user experience. Let us activate the control on my system, meaning adding levels of criticality to my thin client. In this case, the the RDP traffic is part over here of this thin client, so I'm going to put top criticality and change the quality of service profile, so from background to real time, to allocate very stable levels of bandwidth. So, and I'm going to update. So let us see if the configuration has been done correctly. So yeah, I have business criticality top and the type of traffic real time. That's good. So again, the RDP is a system that changes its bandwidth depending on the available bandwidth. So I need to close this session and open again the session in order to get the maximum available bandwidth for the RDP system now that I have a new configuration on my Ipanema system. So, and right now let us see this and see how now the quality of the video is much better, and also the speed of the images are perfect. So clearly the user experience has been augmented, and you can see here on my graph that the throughput associated to my RDP traffic is more than 3 times the throughput that it had before. So it means that my critical application, my mission critical application right now is using the maximum of bandwidth to get the best user experience, while the UDP over here is being now restricted automatically. So there is no static queues, there is no static QS, everything is dynamic. So, and you can see that the user experience is preserved perfectly on the video, even over RDP. So you don't need only an SD-WAN that allows you to connect your different sites using internet or MPLS or wireless. Yes, you need all that. But you need also the ability to maintain high levels of user experience for your mission critical applications. So you need SD-WAN with application intelligence and with the enough resources to maintain all your services that are important for the corporation, for the enterprise, up and running to the maximum of the user experience. So I hope this video is helpful to illustrate the capabilities of our new SD-WAN solution. Thank you very much.